Hello, and welcome to the first ever episode of Voice for You. I'm your host, Jesh Wanvada. The whole point of this podcast is to show everyone has a voice, whether it's something small, like deciding teams in football, or something on a larger scale. Throughout this podcast, I will be highlighting these leaders, from the younger generation to the older ones. Their beginnings, what they strive for, and their plans, while also sprinkling in a little fun to go along with it. Today, I'm joined by two such leaders in our community. One with a passion for neurodiversity and the arts, and the other one with a passion for autism research. These two brilliant minds have joined together to make a collaboration project, which personally I'm not, full on details with, but hopefully we will, get those details and they will announce today on this episode of Voice for You. So please introducing Mr. James Jin and Mr. Nithin Prabu. How are y'all doing today, guys?
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having us on your podcast.
No. Thank you for joining. This is the first episode. Thank y'all for taking a chance on me, to let me introduce y'all to, Nithin, I know that this is your first. Y'all started the Crystal Minds Project. By the way, there are two organizations. Mr. James is with ArtFlow and Nithin, the Crystal Minds Project. I know, James, you've done a lot of stuff throughout your school already and have a branch in Houston High School. And Nithin, you are just starting with the Crystal Minds Project in your very big team, I should say, with 20 plus members. Crazy amount. So before I start with the actual interview, we want to know y'all as people, okay? So basically this is going to be speed round of, 6 questions. First thing that comes to your top of your head, just say it and we'll go from there. Alright? So first off, name.
I'm Nithin Prabu.
I'm James Jin.
Alright. Next one, favorite color. Does it have any meaning towards you or anything? And why?
I'd say black is my favorite color. I just feel like it goes well with anything.
Yeah, I'd say no, black is a nice color. I like red or blue probably. I can't really decide between the two.
Those are two very diverse colors. I guess you can say both colors can make show a human who he is.
No, for sure, yeah.
So say if you're going on a road trip, okay, what is your go-to snack that you're going to eat in the car while you're blasting those road jam tunes?
Low key, I'd say some peanut M&Ms.
Those are low key fire. Those are low key fire.
If I'm the driver, probably beef jerky because it's both good and also it's it will keep you awake because sometimes it can be hard to chew. So it's very it keeps you locked in, so.
Yeah, beef jerky is really good.
Yeah.
Personally, I've never had beef jerky because I can't eat beef and pork, but I've tried, a long time ago, they had this thing called chicken jerky in Costco. I didn't get the chance to try that. It was 5 years ago. I never saw it again, ever.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it was some company that was just showing stuff off at Costco. It was pretty interesting. They had every sort of jerky.
Yeah, Costco's the go-to place, man.
Yeah. Especially for, cheap deals and stuff like that.
100%, bro.
And for mass buying.
Yeah, mass buying too, getting that massive product. Yeah. Okay, so obviously, other than y'all's nonprofits, y'all have lives. So what is, that go-to hobby of yours? What do you do in your free time?
So I like to usually scroll on Instagram Reels. And then I like to go to the gym. I'll try to at least work out at least once or twice a week.
What's your bench? What's your max?
I haven't benched it so long, so I don't even remember. Yeah.
For me, my favorite hobby would probably be basketball. I played on varsity for 3 years. I actually had to drop out this year because a lot of stuff was building up and I had a lot of, work to do. So midway through the season, I had an injury, so I had to take out. But definitely after recovering for some time, with the season being over, I still love to go to the gym and occasionally get on some runs on the court up and down. So it's just, that's probably my favorite thing to do when I have free time.
Well, you're a hooper. Both of y'all, I know, because me and Nithin, we, ran it back in 9th grade. So who is your favorite basketball player? personally?
My favorite basketball player, I'd have to say the GOAT, Michael Jordan. My current favorite basketball player, probably Jalen Green. His game is very versatile. I think his player comparison is somewhat like Michael Jordan. I like his game style a lot. So.
What about you, Nithin?
I mean, I don't watch too much basketball, but I'm gonna say LeBron and Jaylen Brown.
Those are good picks for sure.
Low key, I've never heard anyone say off rip Jalen Green. Usually, I'm used to like, you know, the Currys, the LeBrons, but Jalen Green, that's an interesting one. Personally, my favorite is this man right here.
Yeah,
Giannis. I've been watching him since before his MVP run, so I don't know. He's just been very close to my heart ever since then.
No, 100%.
Speaking of famous, you know, just famous people in general. If you could go to dinner with any famous person to ever exist, past or present, dead or alive, who would you be? Who would you go with, and why? It does take some thought. There have been a lot of famous people.
I'm about to say Elon.
Elon? Why is
It's
that?
mostly because like I'm really inspired by like the way he like has different businesses, and each business is like completely different from each other. Like SpaceX, Tesla, and X recently. So I really want to know like how he networks with people.
What advice would you ask him specifically? You know,
Basically, I would like to ask him how does he gain such knowledge from his field? Because he's really ambitious. So
Yeah, he is, especially with Grok and stuff on the rise now. XAI. It's actually in Memphis as well. That's crazy.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they just opened something there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, James?
For me, maybe like current alive, I would have to say this guy isn't too famous, but Liang, he's the founder of DeepSeek, and I just want to know, you know, because when he surpassed OpenAI, he did it with $5.5 million and a team of 60 people, passed a company with over billions put into it, over years of experience, and over like thousands of workers. I just thought that was insane. And you know, why did OpenAI not come up with this? You know, like I just want to see the logistics behind it. As far as past people, my choosing would probably be like, you know, maybe some philosopher, you know, Socrates, Aristotle. I feel like back in the day, you know, philosophers were a lot more deep thinking, and you know, maybe one-on-one conversation, a dinner, anything, I could be able to learn a lot about just life in general. So yeah.
They do be spitting some facts. I mean, they are known as the great philosophers of our time for
100%. Yeah.
And last question. This might be a little peculiar. Do not judge. Okay. If you could describe yourself as an ice cream flavor, what would it be and why? There's a lot. If you go to Baskin Robbins itself, there's 31 different flavors. Yeah. Personally, it does take a little bit of thinking on my part. I remember one time I was filling out an application. I had that question.
Yeah.
I had to use like AI for like 10 minutes trying to figure out the different kind of ice cream
No,
flavors.
real, yeah, no, I feel you, bro.
But it does really, like, you know, show who you are as a person.
Oh, 100%.
It is a nice question. Personally, I would say I am, you know, some days vanilla, you know, just bland, you know, just sit at home and do nothing. And then other days, you know, I like to have a little bit of fun. So, you know, like maybe like a birthday cake flavor or cotton candy, something like that. You know, it just really depends on the day and just depends on the mood.
Yeah, no, 100%. I would say, I don't know if this counts. I'm not like too familiar with ice cream flavors because I always go with cookies and cream every time. But I would say
That's valid.
yeah, sherbet. I think it's like a bunch of different colors just mixed into, right? I would say sherbet because I find myself as a person that just has grown up in a way that like I don't hang out with the one particular person. Like I have a feeling that I've always been inclined to hang out with a lot of different races. I didn't, you know, just grow up around like one Asian community or anything like that. And you know, especially being in Memphis, Tennessee, and growing up here, I always tried to hang out with as much different people as we can, because Memphis is a very it's a diverse place, whether it seems like it or not. A lot of people don't think it seems like it because a lot of people just stick to their bubbles. You don't see, interracial interaction or anything like that in Memphis. But in my opinion, I've always grown up in a community where I've just been around almost every single race. So I've always had very close friends in each dynamic culture. So that's just probably what I describe myself as. So yeah.
I'd say mine is similar to yours, Jesh, because sometimes like I'll be vanilla because I'd be like too tired or like just don't feel like doing anything different. But in the other times, I'd say turtle probably is my flavor.
Turtle?
Like with the caramel and pecan. Because I feel like I'm pretty good at working with different people. Because like there's different stuff in a turtle ice cream, right? Like you got the caramel, you got the pecan. You also got like the chocolate chips kind of. So I feel like I can collaborate with people and like it doesn't matter how many people, I can still produce like a good result with it. So I'd say I believe I'm kind of a vanilla and turtle together.
Speaking of collaboration, that's a perfect segue into y'all's organization and stuff. Obviously, both of y'all are two different people, two different beginnings, two different identities in total. So let me tell the people how y'all started. How did you get this base idea of your organizations?
So originally my or you want to go first?
No, you got it.
Okay. So originally I had like an idea with like one of my other senior friends during the summer to like create like a nonprofit based on autism awareness, because he had like he knew someone who was like had autism and he thought like this could benefit them. But we had like some time constraints, so like we couldn't like bring it forward that time. So just me, and that's when I found Aniket Raman, who is my co-president, who can't join us today, sadly. But he gave me some really good ideas, so I was like, oh, this guy needs to be my co-president. So we founded the organization together and wanted to get like a diverse team and like make everything from scratch, kind of. So we were gonna announce it summertime in November, but then the website wasn't ready, so we were trying to make sure we had a solid website, which was designed by Sai Kaushik Balasulapalam. So once we finished that, we decided, okay, we can launch it in January, because he spent like all night working on the website. So that's how we got our thing, and we wanted to like, at first we didn't know how to start, and then that's when one of my friends said she knew James. So then James and I met at the library, and like I got like a better idea of what I'm gonna do once I file. So then I filed around January 1st so I could be taxed.
Yeah. Especially with the taxes with nonprofits, I've had my experience with nonprofits. Due to unfortunate reasons, I am not currently with that nonprofit, but it is a lot of work to get a nonprofit started from the ground. Yeah. So Nithin, how did you recruit your team? I know because personally we both go to the same school and we do share a lot of common friends. Most of the board I know So how did you get all these people like on board with?
Okay, so first it was just me and Aniket, right? So then I got some of my friends who I thought would like benefit from this a lot and would do work. So I got one of our treasurer, Sai Satvik Reddy. He's really good, and like I've seen him be a treasurer in multiple other organizations, so I thought he would be a good fit for this. So I got him, and I also got Arham Sarwar, who's a really good note taker. So because he's carried me in so many different classes just with his notes, so I was like, okay, you can be the secretary. And then I needed like a whole website team, because I wanted to build a website from pure code rather than like paying for Wix or something like that. So I recruited Sai Balusulapalam, and then I got Avnish Jain and Simran Garg, who are also really experienced in JavaScript and HTML and all that. So, but this was actually kind of different from the language that we usually use, because Sai had actually employed language through GitHub. So that's where I was like, okay, that's pretty interesting. So that's the whole website team. And then I got people for outreach. So David Surratt, he's a sophomore, and I believe that he's a good fit for like leading the organization after we all graduate. So that's when I got him to be our marketing director and social media. So that's basically most of it.
Now, James, obviously you are with ArtFlow. Do you have any like past experience in art? How did you like get the idea of connecting art and neurodiversity together? I find that very interesting.
Yeah, so I have been doing art since I was very young. Mostly because my sister was very successful with art before me. She won very big awards from it. She actually graduated with I believe she went on to go to Harvard with an art degree. It was many years ago, so I'm not completely sure. My brother also has done arts his whole life. He did a lot of visual arts growing up. Our family kind of pushed art onto me and my brother because my sister was very successful at it. So I would say for a long time, I wouldn't say I was very passionate about art up until high school. I could say the same for my brother. He really, found his passion through art, even though it wasn't visual arts exactly. He became one of the youngest riders in the world actually to get a pushcart nominee, which is a very, very big award for riders that usually only adults get. He's the first ever high schooler to get it. I believe other riders such as like J.K. Rowling, Rick Riordan, and a lot of other riders have also got this award, but they've got it like when they were a lot older, obviously. He's also like a young arts writer. He's in Iowa. And one thing I realized about this was the expression behind art is very important. A lot of people have a lot of mental buildup sometimes, from school stress, whether it can be homework or it can be other forms of stress. A lot of people need a path where they can alleviate this, if that makes any sense. So the expression behind art has always been super interesting to me, and it just so happens that I am neurodivergent myself. I have ADHD. Me and my siblings, we all actually have ADHD. It runs in the family a little bit. And, I really wanted to explore this because I did a little research on neurodiversity over the summer, and apparently neurodiverse people tend to have a lot of build-up creativity. So, if you look at very famous artists right out there, or like very famous writers, usually I'd say 90% of the times they usually are neurodivergent. You can look at Picasso, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, numerous other artists that are famous. They have a really leeway for expression because of this neurodivergent buildup. And I always thought that was super interesting. And I always thought that neurodivergent kids, we're looked down to when we're little. We can't sit still. We can't do tasks like anyone else. We're made fun of. And, it just makes us think we're not as capable. And I am a pure believer that neurodivergent people aren't just as capable. Sometimes they're even more capable than regular people in doing certain stuff. Like Nithin brought up, Elon Musk, he's neurodivergent as well. Numerous other people, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, so many of these very famous and very well-off people are neurodivergent. And it just shows you that these people are very capable in society. And what I've realized, and the reason I started ArtFlow was, one, I realized that, art has started helping me a lot. When I stopped focusing on, just making realistic stuff, and actually I started expressing myself a lot more than just doing art for the award, it really helped my mental state and a lot of stuff a lot. And that just really got me inclined to do art. And then on top of that, like I was saying about the neurodivergent people, so I kind of I lose my train of thought a lot. So basically, my thing is, the reason my sister and brother can be so successful. My brother got in Stanford for writing. He graduated last year from MUS, and what I've realized is we are privileged, right? So I don't come from a low economic family. I come from a middle class. So we are born with more more resources than a lot of these kids are, a lot of neurodivergent racial minorities in Memphis. So I really started ArtFlow to give these people more opportunity. I'm a pure believer, Elon Musk came out of a privileged family, Bill Gates did as well, all of these, and that's why they're able to succeed in society. But what about those that are neurodivergent but are not from low income or not from middle class or upper class families, right? What chance do they have? And this really just shows that I created this thing to give them opportunity, give them the resources that they don't have. So yeah, that's how I kind of got started with ArtFlow.
Now, obviously, like you mentioned, your sister went to Harvard, your brother is going to Stanford. Do you ever feel that pressure that you have to be as good as them, in your future or anything like that?
Yeah, so I've definitely struggled with that a lot of my life. Honestly, at this point, I would say no. I'm honestly it doesn't really affect me where I go. It's just what I'm passionate about. Most of my life I just work to get accomplishments, but like they say, it's not the result, it's the path to get there. And this year and the past couple of years I really found something that I'm passionate for, which is helping neurodiverse kids. And I wouldn't say I care about where I go to college. I really care about my impact. So wherever it can give me the most impact and, help the most people is where I will end up. And I think that's just, the result. So I would definitely say no. I do not have a lot of pressure to end up at a top university as long. Yeah. So yeah.
That's a very good answer. Impact is something that when we leave this earth, we are remembered by what we did. That's a philosophy that I live on. And what you just said says that to a T. Now, obviously, the other day, y'all had a showcase for your part of ArtFlow showcase. Tell me a little bit more about that and how you got that started.
Yeah, so actually one of my team members, Zara, she had a very good idea, which was, why don't we do a little fundraising event? And we brainstormed, and we eventually came up to the conclusion that we can set up a gallery in our school. So what we realized is a lot of these AP people, I've taken AP art for 3 years now. I've taken all 3 of them. There's 2D, advanced, and then there's 3D. I'm on 3D right now. But before that, I took the advanced drawing and 2D. And basically, what I realized is these portfolios that these people make are incredible. Like, if you've ever seen the portfolios that they make, they are crazy good. It's insane. And I realized that not a lot of people get to see the work that they're creating. It's only usually them, their teacher, and the judges for the AP art. So what I did was, I was like, what if we can get all of their works on a display? So what we did was we created this huge gallery in our cafeteria, and we displayed over 100 works of theirs, and we also displayed the works for ArtFlow, like the works that the neurodivergent students have created. And basically, like, it was just this huge gallery. It was really nice, and we had food to get more people to come and look at their works. We also had the band and orchestra playing, and we had this section where you could work on this huge mural with everyone else. A lot of the pictures are on artflowstudio.org. That's our website. And as you can see, it was a great event, and it was $5 for tickets. And we raised a lot of money. I'm not sure how much yet, but I would say definitely over 3 digits. So we'll see how much has been made. So yeah, it was definitely a very successful event, and all the money will obviously go towards buying more materials and expanding ArtFlow into different schools. So yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a very successful event. So obviously, the both of y'all, like I've said numerous times, 2 different schools, 2 different lives. You said that y'all had a close friend that connected the 2 of y'all, but there's got to be a bigger story behind that. Because personally, I'm not gonna trust my something as big as an organization with another stranger. So y'all probably knew each other or something. So let me hear a little bit more background of how you 2 became, the Crystal Minds project plus ArtFlow into one big project that should be discussed soon.
You wanna go first?
Sure. Actually, it was just a friend connecting. So then we met each other at the library after, like, about a week after, I think. So then I was like, yo, he like impressed me like the first time, and he like listed all his accomplishments and stuff. I was like, yo, who am I with?
What was that like first interaction like? Like, what did y'all think of each other? Because usually first interaction isn't always the interaction that we stick on. Most people, their best friends, their first interaction was, I don't like this guy, he's kind of weird. So what was y'all's first thoughts about
I'm not gonna lie, this dude was very, very chill. He was hella chill. Him and Aniket both. I was coming into this with, I don't know, like I went to Collierville schools as a kid. Well, I don't know a lot of people in Collierville, right? I wasn't too familiar with the community, and it was very unexpected. Like, I was expecting to see someone who was just doing it for the accomplishments, or like just doing this to have a name or whatever. But I heard both of their stories, and they explained really how they came up with this idea, and I was blown away. It was like I was looking for someone who didn't have the accomplishments but had the mindset and like the right goal in mind, and he literally fit that exactly. And I would really say off the bat, it was just like I knew this was a guy for sure.
It was really casual too, so like we weren't like too formal with each other when we met each other.
Exactly.
So
Super chill, 100%.
I know, especially like Nithin. Me and Nithin have known each other for a very long time, so I know how he works, how he is. Very, very, to a T. Get the stuff done and all that. Aniket, he's not on today's episode, but he's my FBLA partner, and I know he has that work ethic to get stuff done. And this is the first time I am personally talking to James. But with everything that we've discussed so far, I can tell all three of y'all have very, that drive to get stuff done and, make a bigger impact on your community. So obviously, with that big impact on the community, y'all both came here on this episode, this inaugural episode of Voice for You for a reason. So care to, maybe y'all don't want to say, but, maybe care to share a few details, just for the viewers.
About an organization or
Just, y'all are here together, so I'm assuming y'all have some collaboration going on, in the works.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you want to tell them about that?
Yeah, sure. So basically, what we're planning is like a big scale pickleball event. So the location's basically almost finalized, and we have we're trying to get food trucks, food vendors. So it's gonna be multiple stuff. Like in our school we have something called CHS Note to CO. They're gonna have their own thing that's also headed by Etiquette. So we're gonna have different stalls. We're gonna have mini games probably, like beanbag toss and stuff. So that way people who aren't participating can also show up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, since both of us do have, good connections, what we are doing is, basically, there's, like he said, this huge pickleball event. We're gonna get as many signups as possible. I think it's $15 per. We're working on the flyers and everything right now, and, we're working on getting a lot of food vendors to pull up. Hopefully we can get a lot, and we're gonna have it at Cameron Brown, almost finalized, not completely finalized yet. But we're gonna fill the parking lot out with food vendors, and then also have a lot of mini games like he said. So people, since there's only 6 courts, people can be playing the tournament at the same time. Those who are waiting or those who are just eating can be on the side playing the mini games. We're gonna have beanbag toss like he said. Maybe some other mini games. I haven't thought of that too far yet, but definitely it's gonna be a very chill event, and we can definitely increase our impact around the area, get a lot of money for fundraising, and just give ourselves more of a name in the Memphis community from this. But yeah,
pickleball is a growing sport. I'm pretty sure last time I checked, it is the fastest growing sport. I wouldn't be surprised in a year or two they start having actual pickleball leagues. I know they already have one starting down at Pickleball 901 in Collierville. So I know, Nithin, you had your birthday party at the pickleball. I know you're an avid pickleball player. James, do you have any experience playing pickleball?
Yeah, so I actually played tennis a lot of my life. I would say a pretty good tennis player in 8th grade. I kind of dropped off after that. I started playing a lot more basketball in 9th grade. So when I did play tennis, I was, I think, somewhere around a 5 to 6 UTR, for those who do know what that is. So that's just level in tennis, and I was pretty high up in the state. So that really translated into my pickleball. I quit tennis, obviously. I mean, I still play for my high school. I'm the captain of the team this year, but basically that it really translated to my pickleball. So every time I just go, I have a friend group that they're very committed to pickleball, but they're not that good. No offense to them, but I just pull up every now and then, just cook them real quick and just leave. I'm just kidding, but yeah, no, I definitely play every now and then. It's a really fun sport for sure, especially when the weather's nice.
Have you two played with each other?
No, we have not.
Oh no, I actually haven't played it since October. So
yeah, no, we've been very busy, man.
James, you think you could beat Nithin in a game of pickleball?
We'll have to see. Maybe we'll sign up for the tournament. Who knows, right?
Yeah, low-key, we can run duos.
100%.
Y'all are making a whole tournament, and I mean, it would be good marketing if we have the 2 big co-founders go head to head in a pickleball tournament too.
That's a good idea.
That would be pretty nice, no, for sure. Yeah.
That beginning match, just break the ice. James Jin versus Nithin Prabu, who wins?
James, where do you usually play pickleball?
I always go to Cameron Brown every single time.
Oh, Cameron Brown.
Is that in Collierville or?
It's in Germantown. So
Germantown.
Yeah, it's near Houston. It's really close to Houston.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Well, last question for the both of y'all. Now, obviously, y'all are both juniors. You are a junior, James.
Yes, I am.
Yes. So both of y'all are juniors. One more year left in high school before we go to college. Get that stuff. So obviously, there's kids younger than us. There's kids our age ourselves. Do y'all have any advice for anyone trying to start a nonprofit? Start a passion project. Just get their voice
I'd say the first step is just taking action. That's the hardest step. So I'd say most people struggle at the first step, and once you get there, I think it'll get 10 times easier.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. You know, making ArtFlow as big as it is now has not been easy. It takes a lot of dedication. So what I would say for a person, especially like me, it's very hard for me to commit to things sometimes. As you might have heard, you know, like I quit tennis, I did that. You know, a lot of the ADHD just makes it very hard to commit to things. So I would say for sure, spend time and sit down and, you know, wonder if you're doing it for the achievement or you're doing it because you like it. I think that's one of the biggest steps. Because if you're doing something for achievements, it won't last. No matter how big you make it, it won't last. It's not something you'll be able to stick through. That's just how the human works. I really realized after I created ArtFlow, when you're really passionate about things, you put a lot more time than you do for other stuff that you're not too passionate about. You're more worried about achievements. So I would sit down and make sure this is something that you want to do for the impact, and whether you're helping people or not. I would say sit down, realize that down, and everything else, especially taking action, will come forth with that. I think the first step is definitely realizing if you're passionate about it. And as far as if you are and you're getting started, I'd say don't be afraid to fail. Me and Nithin have failed so many times. I reached out to many organizations. A lot of them didn't respond. I'd say 90% of them didn't respond, but I kept doing it. And you got to show that you're really committed to your project, and which, of course, if you are passionate about it, you will be, and it will be easy to show that. I think do not be afraid to fail. The people that do respond usually help out a lot. So just keep trying and just do not give up, and don't ever be discouraged, because everything, including all these huge people now, everything that they have started, they've failed at least 90% of the times. So I promise you, just do not get downturned by these results and just keep going at it.
Great words from the both of y'all. Once again, thank y'all so much for coming on this inaugural episode, taking a chance on me. This is my first time. I had a podcast 2 or 3 years ago with one of my friends. He actually goes to White Station now, but 2 or 3 years ago we had a podcast. I've always wanted to start up another podcast again, because nowadays, especially in our community, people have a voice that wants to be heard. And just like you two, two young leaders who are passionate about what they're doing and passionate about the impact. Like you said, James, impact is what matters most. Doesn't matter where you end up in college, doesn't matter if you're super successful. It matters what you leave on this earth. So once again, thank you so much for hopping on this podcast with me this episode and taking a shot on me. And to the viewers, thank you for listening through this whole podcast. This is my first time, so I'm going to get better, trust. And yeah, please join us. Please do first check out, ArtFlow and the Crystal Minds Project. They both are relatively young still, so I know there's so much more left to come between the both of them, whether it's separately or hopefully together. And if you are in the Memphis area, do y'all have a set date for the pickleball tournament?
We're aiming for the 29th.
Oh,
or the Saturday. That Saturday.
Yeah. Sorry, 29th. Yeah.
29th. So if you are in the Memphis area, please do check out, both of these people. I am 100% gonna guarantee you they both are nice people. So if you ever need something, ever want to start, a chapter of either the Crystal Minds Project or ArtFlow, I know both of them are super nice and are willing to help you get through that process. If you're in the Memphis area, please do come out March 29th to the pickleball tournament. As you can see, these two young men, they have a lot planned. Food, just pickleball in general. Pickleball I played it once. It's amazing. So food, pickleball, I will for sure try making my best bet to make it and support the both of y'all. But once again, do check out ArtFlow, do check out Crystal Minds Project, and please do stay tuned for the next episode of Voice for You, where we empower the leaders of today and tomorrow. Thank you so much and have a good day.
Thank you.